Willie D live.
What's up, family? Word on the street is Donald Trump is shaking in his boots. Yeah, fam. We got an Iranian official who has released a threat on his life. He said, "We will eliminate Donald Trump in a direct assassination." Family, give me a thumbs up if you think Iran has the capabilities to take out Trump. Thumbs down if you say, "Nah, man, hell no, them people just talking. They ain't gonna do nothing." I'll give you a few moments to think about it. Okay, time's up. Before I offer my commentary, let's check out this article in Mass Live. Iranian official warns Trump to watch out amid escalating U.S. strikes. A top Iranian official directly threatened President Donald Trump online amid U.S. military strikes on Iran. Ali Larijani, a senior Iranian security official, took to X on Tuesday, telling the president that the Ashura-loving nation of Iran does not fear your paper threats, even those greater than you could not eliminate the Iranian nation. Watch out for yourself, lest you be eliminated, Larijani said. The security official was responding to a warning from Trump on Monday when he said that Iran will be hit by the U.S. 20 times harder if Iran stops the flow of oil within the Strait of Hormuz, a key waterway through which 20% of the world's oil passes, according to the Associated Press. Additionally, we will take out easily destroyable targets that will make it virtually impossible for Iran to ever be built back as a nation again. Death, fire, and fury will rain upon them. But I hope and I pray that it does not happen, Trump said on Truth Social. This is a gift from the United States of America to China and all those nations that heavily use the Hormuz Strait. Hopefully, it is a gesture that will be greatly appreciated. On Tuesday, the national gas price jumped 6 cents in one day, according to the AAA. Since launching the strikes on Iran on February 28, the price of oil nationwide has surged past $100 per barrel, and U.S. gasoline prices at the pump have soared by roughly 50 cents per gallon. Okay, fam, that's enough. You get the gist of what's happening here. So we got Iran trying to shut down the waterways that people use to access 20% of the world's oil, right? Now, the United States wants to be able to control that. So they have sent troops to the Middle East to hopefully guide ships through the Strait of Hormuz successfully. I don't know how successful they're going to be because Iran is saying that they are certain, not sure, not, think they're capable. They're saying they're certain that they will stop business from being business as usual. Now, Trump, on the other end, is talking about, hey, man, y'all don't, cut that out, man. We're going to come through there and we're going to bomb on y'all. We're going to destroy everything. I don't see that happening without America taking huge losses. I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening, and I don't see how Trump can say that he's trying to do China any favors, because China don't need any favors from the United States. China gonna get what they want, no matter what, because China has a good relationship with Iran. And even if China doesn't get what they want from Iran, and let's just say they destroy everything in Iran, China still is going to be all right because China has other relationships around the world so that they can get the oil they need. But at the same time, China is not as dependent on oil reserves as the United States is. So that's the big difference. That's where China separates itself from many. Now, there are people who say that, hey, man, if you want to come over here messing with people in the United States, Start with Trump, start with his cabinet, start with all of those Republicans who voted for him. We ain't got nothing to do with that. And it seemed like to me that the Iranian people or not the Iranian people, but the Iranian government is being, considerate of Americans. Like, we don't want to really take out Americans, but if y'all play that game where y'all come in here and try to just unload on our people, then we're going to have to give you a taste of your own medicine. So you got people out there like, hey, man, don't threaten us with a good time. You did. I don't think Trump knows what, in fact, let me back up. Trump don't know what he's doing. He didn't even know that Iran and Iraq were two different countries until he bombed on them. He didn't even. In order for you to hire incompetent people, you have to be incompetent yourself. And so the dude got a whole entire, I don't even know how they're going to get it back on track. I don't know how they're going to get that back on track. How will they get it back on track? The cabinets. How are they going to get that back on track? They messed it all up, fam. They messed it all up because typically when there's a transition of power, right, you have a group of people who comes in and who was already there, and they show you how to do it, and they transfer the power. But now that the power has been transferred to all of these incompetent people, it ain't just one or two or three or four or five, it's dozens, right? So now that means you have dozens of people who are going to transfer power to the incoming people. They got to kind of like, hey, we stepping out of the way and we're moving out the way. Now they have teams, they have transitional teams. So it's not necessarily the person who is serving who is transferring the power, but they have people who come in, transfer, who work on those transition teams. And they come in and say, okay, this is how you do this. And then that's how they keep the thing flowing. But as far as we know, Trump done fired everybody. He done got rid of everybody except the few trusted that he have in his cabinet and, that he keep in his close circle. And that's it. And so, Trump hired a lot of people so that he could go unchecked. He hired people not based on their skills, but based on their will to protect him, to allow him to go unchecked. This is how he was able to get away with so much stuff because there ain't no checks and balances. He gutted entire departments. He gutted entire oversight departments. So if you get rid of the watchdog organization that's supposed to be watching these people right here, or you get rid of the director who's supposed to be working on behalf of the people and put somebody in there that's going to work on behalf of you, then there ain't no oversight. That means you can just go in there and do whatever you want. And that's how he was able to start a war without even consulting Congress. Even if he could do something like that, you would think he wouldn't do something like that because, you want to just overall be respectful of your colleagues in Congress, right? But not Trump. Not Trump. I think, depending on what America does next, I think if America try to hit Iran really, really, really super hard, I think they're going to come for Trump seriously. Because at that point, it's going to be like, what do we really have to lose? Those people are not going to allow Trump to come in there and run their country. They are not going to allow him to go in there and handpick somebody to run their country, somebody who's going to be weaponized against them, and their policies. See, they're not going to let Trump or anybody come into their country and run their country like the West is ran. They're not accepting the Western ways, Western beliefs. They're not with none of that. And if they did that, that goes against everything they believe. Western ways, Western civilization goes against everything they believe. Like those people got honor. You know, yeah, they definitely ain't perfect. But compared to this country, when you start talking about honor and morals, integrity, keeping your word, standing on something, convictions, man, those people serious about stuff like that. Even on that religion, they stand strong. Y'all see what be happening over here? People be talking about, I'm a Christian. They fornicating, they committing adultery, they killing people, they raping kids, they beating on their women, they robbing the country blind, they doing all kinds of stuff. Those people over there, they built different. So when they say they're going to do something, I kind of tend to believe them, because past behavior is a very good indication of future behavior. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.